Now we're cooking. It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Tennessee Titans taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, they come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
Well, they were looking to throw, holding at a big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 22 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
On 2nd down, Cook. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Now, that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run. They made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
Lets it fly for Thielen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the 1st quarter.
Too many ones in this play. 1st quarter, 1st drive, 1st interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now a 1st carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
2nd down, Mariota. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Mariota had an 87-yard run as a rookie. This one a bit less, but it is a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That good for 19 and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they're in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
On second down, here's Henry. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
He may try and run for this, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They get it to him running left. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal. Mariota. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team.
They've got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First down, here's the run with Cook. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
A give. This is Cook. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They go play action here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the Titans getting set to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Well, they get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. That would happen. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And that might be Titan football. It is. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Throwing again, Mariota on 2nd and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Offense.
Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
They'll roll him out right. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
They start the drive with Cook, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 3rd down, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there. Cousins to Thielen. 48 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take...
Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 2nd down, Mariota again. Flushed out right. He uncorks it for Snead. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Now Mariota. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
He dumps it underneath for Taylor. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
First down, Titans, gain of 12. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
A first down carry for Henry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Two minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Mariota now to throw on first down. Dancing to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Willie Snead, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans are able to strike for 6.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Nice pick, nice pick.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Give the tackle there to Danielle Hunter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mariota now on second down. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
On third down, Mariota. He uncorks it for Snead. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And now out comes Minnesota. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Right side caught by Diggs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Play fake to Henry. Now Mariota sliding out of the pocket. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just looking the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now Mariota. And Davis has it over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Anthony Barr in on the tackle. The Titans on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. His throw incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They come out here in the eye. He's going to get it running right. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 17-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Again, it's Cook. And an alley to run. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Wide open receiver complete. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Handoff comes to Cook. Twisting away. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. A first down throw for Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Third and short yardage, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And that might be Titan football. It is. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it. Putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Tough first half for him. Unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm. Well,
absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
On play action, Cousins. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 22.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
To throw is Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Mariota and the Titans break the huddle. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy down.
Willie Snead all alone. Touchdown, Titans. Willie Snead, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're march off another 15 against your squad.
Throwing is Cousins. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Escape, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's to his running back, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. And he's able to put it through. Cat and 0 out now as he'll kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you in attack mode too, right? They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down.
Let's go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
To sneak it. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
There may be a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Keep it rolling.
Now they'll run it on the toss. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Mariota gives to Henry. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help. No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Give to Henry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 11. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it. But it's the rest of his teammates that get him free.
1st down. Here's Cousins. Looking left sideline. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First play of the drive, a success. 19 yards. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. 2nd down, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. On third down, Cousins. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Here's Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. The Vikings on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 11. Again, it's Cousins. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Desperation time. Cousins on fourth down. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Titans are close to finishing off this football game. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Titans, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Cincinnati next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.